Hello and welcome to the JfG Podcast. This is episode 245. My name's Alex, joined by my friend Ash. He's a good friend. Not your good friend. Here he is.
Thank you. Oh, good friend.
Don't talk over me. How's it going, buddy? You all right?
Yeah. I'm
okay. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, you've been up to much. You've been out and about.
Obviously, I've been out and about, mate. You know me.
You love it.
I can't stay inside.
No.
I'm a loose cannon. I mean, I'd love to stay inside, but apparently I'm some sort of key worker, which is bullshit.
Yeah, so. Take that.
Yeah, mate, I've been out and about. I've been to the shops, you know.
Nice.
Did a food shop. Went and bought some paint, because Wilkinson's open, so get some paint in.
Get some paint. It's vital.
We got some paint.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why Wilkinson's is open.
No, but that's, you know, that's not your fault.
No, I need.
If they're open, then you will support them.
Yeah, I'll keep their engines running and buy some paint. I bought some paint, buddy, if I hadn't told you. Obviously, that paint has gone all over the walls now. Just slapped it on over the bank holiday weekend. It was nice having 4 days off, which is... Yeah, no... I mean,
no.
Did you take those days off and not work, I'm guessing?
Yeah, well, I had very little choice, and I think my holiday is going to be probably pro rata anyway at this point, along with probably everyone else. So you're just mugging yourself off, I'd imagine, if you don't take them. Having said that, it was 4 long days of nothingness. I was like, I guess, what should we do today? We'll stay the fuck.
We'll stay the fuck inside, I guess.
I think it's probably best reflected how I spent the bank holiday weekend by the what we've been playing section.
I can see
of the pod notes. This
you've done well. Mine kind of reflects that as well. Being having kids, I guess that's all that I played was that. Yeah. But we'll talk about that in a bit.
Kiddie stuff.
Yeah, so I did some painting. I was out in the garden. It was lovely weather.
Nice.
So
nice to have a garden.
Nice to have a garden. I know,
26.
Mate. Like every day, I'm like, that poor cunt. just that poor cunt.
I can go in the park, but don't fucking stop.
No,
keep moving.
You got to keep moving at all times. Don't you fucking dare.
You got to. It's important.
Can't stop me.
Otherwise, you've got people like...
Oh, I'm telling you.
Letting the team down.
Yeah, by stopping.
Okay. So
I mean, I feel like you could just like lie down and just be like, I'm doing yoga or something. This is my exercise.
Yeah.
You could get away with that.
I mean, it's worth a shot.
I'm meditating.
It might come to that, but not so far. Big news though, buddy.
Oh.
You'll remember from last week's conversation that I no longer am serviced by a supermarket, but I have a selection of suppliers.
How is your meat? I want to know.
My meat is very, very good.
I bet it is. Exquisite.
We had buffalo minced chili last night. We've had some Iberian ham and mushroom pies. Tonight we had kangaroo burgers in pretzel buns. Very, very good.
Nice.
Quite
like
gamey, but still sort of beefy. Absolutely. It's been a wonderful thing. And my new beer supplier, buddy, is Cellarhead.
Okay.
Big fan of Cellarhead. They're based in Wadhurst. It's 12.3 miles to their brewery, which isn't the sort of thing that you normally would sort of know, unless they did free delivery within a 15-mile radius of the of the brewery there, buddy.
Happy days.
So yeah,
got that free delivery then, buddy. Nice.
I ordered a 10-litre box of beer yesterday, and some lady came and brought it around today in a Cellarhead van, popped it on the doorstep, and then gave me a bit of a bib and was like, "Hey, mate," and I was like, fucking thank you very much.
Nice. So what are you on this evening then, buddy?
I'm on the Cellarhead.
There
it's the Summer Pale, buddy.
It sounds good.
It's very, very nice. It's like, you know, the sort of beautiful ales like what we would normally have in the pub, except it's in my fridge. Now, that did cause some aggro because a 10-litre box of beer takes up rather a lot of space you would
maybe
conventionally use for food, buddy.
But priorities.
She understood.
She
understood.
Obviously.
She doesn't want a sober me during this.
No,
so,
I mean,
I
feel like our alcohol consumption has definitely, exploded.
Yeah, I'm having about 2 pints a day at the moment, which
that's about normal, really.
But that's every day that isn't like game night or quiz night.
Yeah, so every other
or
day,
Saturday. So yeah, I'm keeping a lid on things to a degree. But speaking of boozy, buddy, what are you drinking this evening?
I am still on the Rhinebacker, buddy, but I have got a nice 10-litre keg of Hobgoblin Gold downstairs that I'm saving for the weekend to get absolutely cunted on, munted, gazeboed, as you would say.
Bungalowed, very nice.
Bungalowed, yeah, totally bungalowed.
Sweet as the punch. Well, yeah, I've literally nothing else to report.
Yeah, life is great.
Yeah, it's here we are.
Here we are.
What I have been doing, buddy, of course, as I said, 4-day weekend, I've been playing a lot of games.
Yeah, you have.
Maybe you should start because you haven't played 15 games.
I haven't played 15 games, but I've played most of the games that you're going to speak about. So
okay, at one point or another.
At some point in my life, I believe I have. Yeah, so okay. I can help out with tidbits of non-information there, buddy.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Overcooked 2, buddy. It's been back on the agenda.
Lovely.
Yeah. Family gaming at its best. The best family game. I mean, I've mentioned it before. You get to shout at your kids and it's all right because they don't do the right thing. They're getting better. Obviously, me and the missus do get frustrated with them after about 4 or 5 levels and then you say, that's enough, fuck off. Go and watch something on your tablets. So
leave it to the experts.
So me and the missus can just play. But obviously we load it up on her account or my account. I can't remember one of them. We play on the kids' ones for theirs, and then we've got our separate save, obviously, buddy. And fucking completed it the other night. We were just like, should we have a quick go on Overcooked 2? I was like, yeah, all right then. And it was ace. Fucking smashed it, finished it off. There's one level extremely hard. It's like a sludge monster thing. I don't know. And the platform in the middle, kind of, you got 3 islands and the platform disappears and reappears and it's different every time. And yeah, it's just incredibly thin and frustrating because you're trying to dash over there. You got to get some eggs to make a cake. And you got to go to the other one to get the flour. And then put it in the mixing bowl. It's very, very educational stuff, this. And just constantly falling off. But we managed to blag our way through it and then had to do the standard thing of go back to some of the early levels, get some extra stars to get those final levels unlocked. And yeah, it was fucking mint. Loved it. Finished it off. Credits start to the roll. I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe there's something special at the end. Mrs. just turns it straight off. Like,
she didn't care.
I'm like, what are you doing? There might be like a little cutscene or something. And she's like, oh, I'm quite the novice at this. I'm like, I guess you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that done. I'm trying to find other kind of co-op games that we can play together because I had a good laugh. It was interesting actually spending time with my wife. I haven't done it for a while. I realised that she's quite funny, which was a good thing, I guess.
Crucial.
Yeah. And the other game I've been playing, buddy, which I don't really want to admit this, but it's in the Discord already, and that's Roblox. That's right. I've been playing Roblox, which is... do you know what Roblox is?
I do.
I'm glad you do. For people that might not know, it's pretty much a kid's game because it's a pile of shit. And it's these little blocky men. And there's just 1,000,001 different game modes or levels or user-created content. That's what it is at the end of the day. I played one which was a survival island. You have to compete in various competitions, and then if you win, you get a pass onto the next level, but otherwise people will vote you out after each round. That was quite interesting.
Right.
So obviously I smashed all these kids at every fucking thing, got to the end where there was 3 of us, and then it just went to a public vote. It was like, who's going to win? I was like, well, clearly it's got to be me because I smashed it. No, some other cunt is like, oh, I'm like, that's a complete waste of time. What a piece of shit game that was. Other game that I played was, I don't know the name of it. It was some kind of quest game. It was a lake, and I went on a quest for some fucking Easter egg. Found that, did some parkour puzzles, which was awful.
Pretty on brand though, buddy, with the Easter map.
Yeah, you know, you got to keep it fresh for the kids so they spunk all their money on it, you know.
Gibbon, yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, the jumping's terrible on this game. So a lot of the levels are parkour based for God knows whatever reason. Probably because there's not a lot else to do in this game. And the rest of the game was scuba diving. So first of all, you just free dive and you have to find trinkets under the water. So it's just looking for shit underwater. You find these things, you go back to the pawn shop, you trade them in for money, and then you can buy like a scuba tank. I was like, fuck yeah. Sweet, I got my scuba tank now. Got the full-on scuba outfit. I bought an anchor so I would sink faster, a little life vest so I'd float to the top quicker. I was like, oh, this is great. My son comes along and he's like, oh yeah, Dad, have you got the pirate outfit yet? I'm like, pirate outfit? What are you on a pirate outfit? He's like, yeah, you need it to get into the secret pirate area. Fuck, what? There's a secret pirate area? Okay. So I get enough money, I buy the pirate outfit. He's like, yeah, come on. So you sink down. There's like a secret, like, dead pirate area where there's loads of skeletons of pirates. They've got little quests for me to do. I had to go and find someone's hat. That was great.
Right.
But for the hat, I needed to go into the nuclear zone, and I needed a hazmat suit for that. So obviously, needed more money. Got the hazmat suit. Found the hat. Brought it back to him. He gave me some trinkets. Sold them, which let me buy the Inferno suit, which I could go to the underwater. I mean, I'm going to stop there because this is absolute bollocks. It's I don't know what this game is, but it makes so much money. It's insane. In every little area, obviously you earn coins or whatever to buy little trinkety things or whatever. But then obviously there's the classic microtransactions and in-game currency of Robux, I think it's called.
Yeah, it's for children though. It's for children.
It's for children to spunk like.
It's okay. It's got casino gambling mechanics in it.
Yeah,
but,
it's fine. So
it's for children. Don't worry about it.
Or Easter, my son got like £5 from his nan and granddad in his Easter egg. He was like, oh, can I spend it on Robux? Firstly, I was like, fuck off. No chance. And I was like, actually, it's your money. You can do what the fuck you want. And it's £5. So I put £5 on his Microsoft account. He spunked it instantly on some magic potion so that he could ride his pet. I'm like, money well spent, mate. Fucking nailed it. You're a legend. But the worst of it is, so that pet can only be used in that one game. You can't use that in all the other million games in Roblox. It's just in that one particular. I'm like, so that person has just got £5. I'm like, I need to make some Roblox levels, right? And get on this and steal money from children.
It's going to be your new job.
I think so. I mean, someone's got to do it.
It's a digital version of Digger World.
It's a pile of wank. It's
what are they
a terrible
building?
Game.
Diggerland. Sorry.
Yeah, Diggerland. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
But the only upside of it was like I had loads of fun with my kids, like just finding shit. It's like, oh, I found this thing, and it's like, yay, let's go and get it together. And it was really nice. But on someone that actually wants to play games, don't play that game. And it was funny on the Discord on the weekend. Resident, what's the game you always played? Rocket League legend. I can't remember what status he got to. Mike Strider.
Yeah.
He posted in the Discord saying, "Why am I playing Roblox right now?" I was like, "That's what I'm doing right now." He's like, "No fucking way."
That's really weird.
Yeah, it was really weird because like I'm playing it on my PC and I've always got Discord up next to me. It just pops up there. I'm like, "What?" And then we're like, "Have you played this map?" He's like, "Yeah, I've played that map." I'm like, cool. It's like, yeah, we both couldn't believe like what our lives had come to, but hey ho, strange times and whatnot. These things happen anyway. Roblox. I'm glad I spoke about that for at least 5 to 10 minutes. I can only apologise, buddies. So now, obviously, onto the main event, buddy. What the fuck have you been playing in the 5 days of hell? I guess you could call it.
I've been playing a horde of games. The main reason because I have subscribed to PS Now, the 7-day trial. And we tried this out like 2 years ago, probably longer. Obviously,
we played Euro Truck Simulator, I think it was, or something.
Something like that. Some sort of truck racing game. Yeah.
Truck Fest, 5 million.
Yeah. Obviously, this is no longer the service that it was before, for the better. Since the original launch, where it was £13 a month for basically fuck all, and streaming only. So, limited to people with a decent connection. And even then, is that what you want? I don't know. No. Anyway, now it's price-wise, it's a match. It's a match in the UK for Game Pass. Actually, I think it's £1 more.
I think it's £1 more, isn't it? Like $6.39, isn't it on Game Pass?
But if you buy it,
in 3 months,
the annual, then it's the same price. So no longer just a streaming only service. It also has downloadable games. It seems most of them are downloadable, or at least anything sort of relatively new is downloadable. So essentially you can just choose to either stream the game or download the game. And yeah, a lot of the older games are stream only, but that's kind of fine, provided your connection's up to it. Obviously the bandwidth this thing uses is substantial, like a lot. And that would probably be a source of concern if you had any sort of usage cap. Yeah, then this thing can really get away from you, I would say, based on the sort of usage stats that I've been seeing for the last 5 or 6 days. But yeah, I just wanted to try the service out because I think we were talking last week and probably before even, that perhaps the next gen console decision may well come down to that subscription service, because it's a really nice way of
getting different games and everyone having the same game.
Exactly. Everyone's always got the same shit. And then if you need to buy something else, then you can. And just comparing the two services. So the first thing that I really did was try to compare the software lists between the two. I made a list of all of the Game Pass games that I thought were good or worth playing or I was interested in. And then I made a list of all of the PS Now games that I felt the same way about. And I've kind of long suspected that one of the reasons that I considered Game Pass to be such a really, a good proposition was because I picked it up with an Xbox, having not played any of the Xbox exclusives or, anything like that. Whereas, PlayStation, we've bought a lot of these games.
Bought hundreds of games.
Exactly. So it doesn't look quite so good on the surface of it.
True.
Having made my two lists, I don't think there's very much in it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, really don't think there's very much in it at all. I would say that there are more games that I think the quality of Game Pass's lineup is better than PlayStation's, but PlayStation has more, like way more. There's there's fucking hundreds of games on PS Now. And a lot of them are absolute dog shit and you don't want to play them and whatever. But there's plenty of crossover between the two. And if you look at the fact that you've got all of the God of War franchise on there, you've got all of the Fallout franchise, the F1 games, the Killzone games, Infamous games, Lost Planet games, and then you've got Mafia 2 and 3. It's got Control on there, Spider-Man, Uncharted, Last of Us. Like, all of the big PlayStation exclusives are on this service. You can now download all of those games. And compared to the Xbox exclusives, there really is no competition, in my opinion. Like, Halo 5, Gears 5... Like, I don't give a fuck about these games at all.
Been there, done that.
I don't think there's much in it. I think that
but
Xbox...
do you think, because we had the 360, that's why we've had enough of like Gears and Halo? If it was the other way around, if we had, if we had PS3s instead of 360s, would it be a case of, I'm bored with Uncharted or whatever?
There's probably some fatigue there because of that. But I don't know why anyone wouldn't be bored of Gears of War at this point.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't really get why anyone would have any interest in that. It's of no interest to me at all. It was fun. The first couple were fun, but you're talking about...
That's the thing, like, if we hadn't have played them and we played all of the Uncharted, would it be a case of, like, the latest Uncharted being like, oh, great, another Uncharted?
I don't think so, because I played through all of the Uncharted games multiple times and then was still mega excited for 4.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I never played through Gears more than once.
No, I mean... No. It's a difficult one. What I would say is it's going to come down to personal preference in terms of the franchises you like, but I think that in this generation cycle at least, Xbox is lagging behind in the exclusives. We knew that already.
Yeah.
All of their big titles are like Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, like the sequel after sequel after sequel, versus The Last of Us versus
Horizon,
God of War. I know that's part of a franchise, but it's such a completely different game.
Remade. Like, I mean, maybe
Horizon,
that's the thing
Spider-Man.
that they need to do. Like, just shake it up. Just
maybe. But
I mean, have you looked at that Gears Tactics? Like, I looked at that the other day. I was like, that actually looks all right. Actually, it's like XCOM. Well, that could be quite interesting.
Yeah, there's quite a few games like that on the service. Xbox has got an XCOM-esque sort of game on there as well, the one with the duck and that. I can't remember what that's called now.
Oh, yeah, I've got it on.
Sure, I haven't imagined it, but...
fuck. Yeah, that one. Let me load up my thing, I'll find out.
So, yeah, the other thing, just before I get into what I've actually played...
Something? I don't know.
Mutant Zero or something like that.
Yeah.
Something I noticed about PS Now, which I've been hugely unimpressed by, is for a service that has about 25 racing games on it, there is no wheel support on PS Now.
That's shit.
And I tested this. I've got Assetto Corsa on disc. It's a pretty bad game. I've got it anyway. There's nothing wrong with the physics engine, but the concept is dog shit, and it runs like arse as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've got it. It's installed on my console. It's also on PS Now. I downloaded it on PS Now. There was the option to download it or stream it.
Mm-hmm.
I fire up the disc version. I can play on my wheel. I fire up the PS Now version, and I can't.
That's fucking weird because you're downloading it.
I can't tell the difference between the two versions. All I can tell you is the PS Now version it doesn't seem to support any of my wheel inputs, and
that's a big fucking deal.
It's a big deal because there's 5 F1 games on that service, and you can't play any of them with a steering wheel. There's F1 2014 on there, which we never played because it came out just after the PS4 launched.
Yeah,
and it was only on PS3 and Xbox 360. And I fired that up because I was like, maybe they've seen tracks on there that we haven't had.
Yeah, play
as the old drivers or whatever. It's six seasons ago now. And yeah, no, you can't play on the wheel on there. So
fuck it.
Pointless. Absolutely pointless. A massive deal breaker. Xbox Game Pass, not only can you use the wheel on old games, but you can use, I can use the fucking Drive Hub. I can use a PS4 wheel on these old games and it works. So, yeah, not the best. Anyway, from the two services perspective,
I feel like that's something that's not going to get fixed either.
I wouldn't have thought
or
so.
Or addressed in any way, shape or form.
Probably not. No, not a big enough audience to give a shit. It would have to get really massive, PS Now. And statistically, apparently, PS Now far outweighing Game Pass in terms of sales. I don't really get that either. I thought Game Pass was kind of a big deal. I suppose it's the market share of the consoles is the reason for that. It's like a 75% market share in Europe. So inevitably, even if only 10% of those people had PS Now, which sounds high to me, then they'd still sort of kick Game Pass's ass, even if 50% of people or 60% of people had Game Pass on the Xbox.
Xbox, yeah, true.
Anyway, game-wise, massive collection of absolute dog shit, and plenty of interesting stuff as well. Connection-wise, several games I would have liked to have downloaded but couldn't because they were stream-only. Stream-only is fine in certain circumstances with certain games on my connection.
Right.
It's not fine on others. For example, if I am playing Killzone 1, Disney's Brave, or Mafia 2, fine. Stream away. It's not going to do anything that those games don't require, like Twitch movement changes and decisions and stuff. And to be honest, from all of the streaming that I've been doing, I have not noticed any input lag at all on any of the games. They run really nice. However, I do get spikes and troughs, and on some games they ruin it completely to the point where it's not even viable.
Cool.
And it may be my connection. For
I
reference,
doubt it because it's not that bad. But then again, times are hard with internet.
Yeah, and it has been a little bit patchy of late, but my connection is, I get about 66, 67 meg down, and about 15 meg up. So that's the connection I've got.
But I mean, I feel like that's above average.
Yeah, and the system itself informed me that my connection was excellent and more than enough to play stream high definition games or whatever.
Obviously not.
No, so yeah, in some games I'm getting occasional drops where the whole thing shits itself for just a second, but whatever button inputs I was making when it shat the bed, it just sort of retains. So I was playing F1 Race Stars with the missus, I'm going round a corner, there's that fucking connection spike, and then I'm backwards. Of course you are. It's all over. My race is ruined because of that. And that's not really good enough or viable.
No, not at all.
No one asked for streaming gameplay. PlayStation, Sony decided.
They were
no one asked.
Well, they thought it would be the future.
And it probably is the future, but it still isn't the future yet. And this service has been out for ages, and
it's been a long time.
Anyway, I've had a lot of fun flying through the catalogue. Here's a list of the sort of the ones that I've kind of been trying out here and there. I've played way more than this list, but obviously, we're not going to do a 4-hour podcast this evening. So,
what?
Soz, mate. Firstly, I played Action Henk. Which
Action Henk
I have wanted to play for ages, and I think it was it a 360 arcade game or a PS4 sort of PS Plus game? I think it's PS Plus
indie whatever games.
You had to vote for one or the other, and I think it was like up against maybe Counter Spy or something like that.
That's a good game. Anyway,
I hadn't played this game. It's basically like Trials or Hot Wheels or that Doritos Crash Course.
Doritos Crash Course, great game.
Yeah, great game. Backwards compatible on the Xbox One there, buddy. I've actually played that a fair bit recently. It's very good.
He loves it. He fucking loves it.
So yeah, Action Henk. It's got multiplayer as well, and it's just a stupid slidey, runny game. It's fine. It's fine. There you go. Action Hank.
Cool. Yeah, nice. Action Hank.
Carmageddon Max Damage. Always been a big Carmageddon fan.
Wasn't this reviewed terribly?
It reviewed very poorly,
Cool.
and that was entirely justified. This is a terrible video game. It looks... I had to go back and look at a video of the Death Race 3000, which was the previous Carmageddon game before this giant hiatus, because I was thoroughly convinced that this game doesn't look any better than that game. And there's been a 10-year gap between the two of them. This game does look better than that, but not substantially so. This thing, it looks fucking dog shit and also runs terribly and also controls terribly. It's a real shame. But it's one of those franchises where it's like, well, maybe it was always shit. I don't know. Maybe it was toilet from the beginning.
But they could get away with it back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It caught in a lot of controversy with running over pedestrians, and I remember them having sort of made to patch the game and change all of the pedestrians to zombies with green blood because of the 18 certificate that was attributed to it otherwise. I don't know. All I know is it's a Carmageddon game. Literally nothing has changed here.
Cool.
I know that this was crowdfunded. It's a perfect example of nostalgia being poison, I would say. So yeah, it's a really bad game. Really bad. Star Wars Racer Revenge is some sort of sequel to Star Wars Pod Racer.
Yeah, I was going to say that was quite good.
This is pod racing. This game is bad. This is a bad game. It may have been a good game originally.
Totally selling it to me right now, buddy.
It's a bad game. Ico or Ico.
Yeah. From people that made other games.
The people who made Shadow of the Colossus, which I'm also playing at the moment, and thoroughly
Guardian,
enjoying.
Isn't it? This is the one in between the two.
Yeah, so this is a really old game, and it looks really old. There's no remastery going on here at all.
Of course not.
It's like playing a PS2 game because that's
I thought
what
it was
you're doing.
PS3 Ico. It might be PS2.
It looks PS2.
I think you're right. Actually, I think it was PS2 because there was like a massive gap between that.
Old ass video game.
Last Guardian, wasn't it? Yeah.
Having said that, this is a cool game with a cool story, and it's got that sense of scale that you expect from these guys. Everything's like really grand and big, and you feel really tiny in the world. The story's quite compelling. Starts off with you being like taken to a tower, seemingly to be sacrificed, and then rescuing this weird ghost woman. But yeah, like it's got all of those old ass things. I mean, we're coming in from, camera control being sort of relatively novel.
Yeah, it was 2001 on the PlayStation 2.
Old game. It looks real dog shit, this game, as you'd expect. No fault of its own. Probably looked great at the time.
Yeah, obviously.
But I have been enjoying it, and I think if it wasn't for the fact that I've been playing Shadow of the Colossus, which obviously is a much better version of it, basically, where they sort of honed and mastered their craft, then I'd probably continue with this one, although I'm not going to because my subscription runs out tomorrow. Anyway.
Boo-hoo.
And I'm not paying for it. Spoilers. F1 Race Stars. I've talked about this game loads before. We had it on 360. It's not backwards compatible on Xbox because Codemasters. And yeah, it's a really, really bad karting game, which is really just frustrating and annoying in all of those karting game sort of ways.
Love it.
With horrifying rubber banding. And like way too short cooldown from taking hits, so you can end up getting hit like 4 times and going from first to last. A terribly conceived damage model where if you take a hit, then your car is damaged and then goes at like 60% speed until you get to a pit lane. Which could be anything up to like a whole minute of racing, just sort of jaggedy going along.
That's retarded.
It's really annoying. It's just a hugely frustrating game.
Yeah.
The only real way to win it sort of regularly is to just be ultra defensive. All power-ups that you get, just hold on to them, and you can shoot them backwards when something's about to hit you. So you've got some sort of defense mechanism, but it'll still get you with the catch-up eventually. But yeah, it also looks terrible on the service, this, and I don't remember it looking bad like this. This is one you can only stream, you can't download.
Yeah.
And it's running maximum of 720p, and I'm sure that this game looked better on Xbox 360
more
than
than
it does
likely.
on PS4, and that's not really good enough, to
No.
be honest.
No, it's not.
Especially when we're talking about the streaming of a video signal.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly. It could
that's
be...
it's a resolution, but the graphics are irrelevant. And
Yeah.
this is something that I've really noticed here. As someone who played around quite a lot with GeForce Now, when it was in sort of alpha and beta, and noticed that obviously I'm playing video games on a supercomputer in the cloud, and therefore they're not going to take ages to load because that would be retarded. However, buddy, this is PlayStation.
Hello.
And these games, they take as long to load as they ever did on whatever system they were on. And I don't know why. I don't understand. And I can only assume that they're being emulated on the existing systems.
The same architecture.
But they haven't ramped up the processing power of those systems. So
weird.
if a PS2 game used to suffer from slowdown, it still does. I've been playing some PS2 games that are shitting themselves. And obviously, my console isn't running them. I'm streaming them.
Yeah.
But the idea that they're being emulated on a PS2 that has no more power than the original did, like...
You know what? I bet they did what Nintendo did and just rip off ROMs and emulators and be like, that's totally original.
Seriously, every time I load up Mafia 2, it has to read from the memory card, which obviously doesn't exist, and then it does it in 6% increments, so it just goes up 6%, another 6%. It's like, why? Why isn't it just going like, well, bam?
Yeah, sweet,
when I play Jedi Academy on the Xbox shit heap, it loads every level immediately. I know it's running natively, but still, I just don't understand. It's an old game. It should run quickly.
Yeah, of course it should.
These don't. Metal Slug 3 is an old arcade game, which I've been playing.
It gets released all the time, over and over again.
Don't stream that game because Twitch controls are relatively important on Metal Slug 3.
Yeah, any kind of what's the? I can't even remember. It's like R-Type. Is that what's the name?
Yeah, stuff like that.
You know the shit.
So the side-scrolling shooters.
that stuff.
Yeah, don't play. Don't rely on a streaming internet connection to play a game like that.
I guess.
And the same goes for Crazy Taxi.
Oh God, really?
Is downloadable, but.
I mean, I can play that on my phone and it runs perfectly smooth.
This runs smooth. It runs the same as it did on the PS2? 3? I don't know.
2.
Probably 2.
Gotta be 2.
Yeah, streaming it, I was getting hitches.
That was about when Offspring were cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had Crazy Taxi on the Dreamcast in 2000.
Ah, yeah. See? There you go.
So that's the sort of era. But I think that this is a repackaged version for PS3, one of the Sega Classics range.
Still got Offspring on there, yeah?
Oh, yeah, the whole soundtrack's still there, and it's still a fucking banging soundtrack.
Yeah, classic.
That game is really cool. It's so further in depth than you think, with all of the sort of controls in terms of doing the boosts and that sort of thing. It's in no way intuitive. It doesn't tell you anywhere on the game how to do these things. I had to Google it. How to boost. but yeah. Killzone 1. Don't play that.
Don't play that.
Good
it's
God.
just not a very good game in general.
It's one of those where you play it and you're like, I think this was probably shit when it launched. However,
I was never a massive fan of Killzone.
By Brian Cox, so that's quite fun.
Swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, exactly.
Depends what you want out of a game.
Disney's Brave, buddy. I've been playing Disney's Brave.
I don't think I've played Disney's Brave.
It's all right, actually. It's a competent little adventure game. I'm sure children would enjoy it thoroughly. It's actually one of the better experiences I've had on PS Now over the last 4 days. That's Brilliant. Disney's Brave.
It
there. Is. Super Hang-On, obviously, is a Master System game. I've been playing a little bit of that.
What are the load times on that like? Good?
The same as they were on the Master System. It pretty much instantaneous. But anyway, it's a cartridge game. F1 2014, I played briefly, then realised I couldn't use my steering wheel, so I turned it off.
Yeah.
That game looks awful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't really feel like the F1 games have improved graphically that much, but they have.
They definitely have.
They really have.
Yeah.
NASCAR Heat 3, which is a NASCAR game.
Do you just go around, turn in left?
It's got like 12 tracks, 10 of them
are they all
bombs.
the same? Pretty much.
It's got the Sonoma Valley Raceway, which I think is on Project Cars.
Okay.
And it's also got Watkins Glen, which is also on Project Cars. And
Glenn Watkins
destroyed the computer on those tracks because presumably they're not used to turning anything other than left. And I know those tracks. So, but that game's fine. You can download it, but you can't use your steering wheel.
No. Why would you want to?
It's PS Now. And then finally, buddy, before I sum up my PS Now experience, if I need to, Mafia 2.
With its 6% increments on loading.
Nice. 6% loading increments. I have basically played almost nothing else. This is an amazing video game. The last time I played it was on OnLive, which it was one of the 6 games that worked when OnLive launched originally, which was... dorks will probably know the very first game streaming service.
I'm trying to think, it's got to be
in the cloud.
9 years ago, 9 years ago.
Yeah, it's really, really a long time ago. They went bust some time back. This game is, I think, 2001. Is that right? That sounds a bit old, actually.
I played a lot of this on the 360.
Mafia 2 must be it must be newer than that. 2011, 2010. This game's great.
It's a great game.
Like it. It's a fucking awesome open world GTA style game, but it's a little bit more
gangster.
Certainly gangster, and certainly small and more focused. The world doesn't need to be massive because the missions are quite interesting and so are the characters. The story's good, the acting's good. Obviously, graphically, it looks pretty dog shit, but, you get past that really quickly. And crucially, this game controls well. I've streamed all of it. I've had no issues except the odd occasion where I'm driving a car, the game hitches, it reads my left or right controls. I've actually killed 4 women and 5 men because of the connection. Just hit and runs where it's kept turning and I've mowed them down, just poleaxed them into a building.
Fucked it.
Didn't mean to do it, but you can't download this. You have to stream it. This game's fucking awesome. I'm right near the end of it. In fact, we've played all the way through it over the weekend and thoroughly enjoyed it. It's the best experience I've had on this service over the course of the weekend. So yeah, buddy, that's my PS Now adventure.
Why didn't they make Mafia 3 like that? just saying.
Well, they tried to do something a bit different, didn't they, with the bayou and everything, and...
But
I mean, that game starts brilliantly, that Mafia 3, but
true,
very, very quickly becomes very dull. Not sure why, really. The characters were good. The world was good. I just bounced off it completely in the end, but not so with this. This is a great game. And it does some wonderful stuff in terms of moving time forward. I don't know if I can spoil this game. I mean, it's 10 years old,
buddy.
It does some really cool stuff with the world. The world is obviously only a certain size, limitations of the team
consoles,
that made it, I would say, as well as the consoles. It's 2K Czech who made this game. You know, they're not like Rockstar. They haven't got fucking 4 studios and 7,000 employees.
Yeah, you're saying that. I'm just watching some videos. Like, the gunplay seems so much better than fucking Red Dead Redemption.
It's solid. The gunplay is solid. It does the sort of zoom in thing if you want it to. You can turn that off as well. It's got some great stuff. For example, at the start, you're in the army and you're in the war, and then you come and you get sent home because you've been shot and you're supposed to be on leave for a bit, but the mafia dudes you're getting in with, they get you out of returning to service. You start doing crimes and building your career, and during this time, it's winter in on the map, and it's all sort of bleak and so on. Then you get sent to prison for several years. And that's how they sort of change the environment you're in. So you end up behind bars for like 6 years. And then when you come out, obviously, you know, that period in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, stuff was moving along so quickly in terms of culture and technology that you come out of prison and, you know, no longer is it like not everyone's got electricity and it's fucking black and white and dark and horrible. And suddenly there's, you know, fucking cars with fins on the back going around and diners, and it's all vibrant and that's really clever. And there's a couple of times it does that with time shifting where it's not afraid to take you out of the action and say 6 months later or something like that. You kind of, those are connected together with little montage scenes so you can see what the characters got up to during that time. Maybe you've done a load of crimes, you've killed a load of people, and then you wake up in like some nice new bungalow in a nice area in town. It's very, very cool. It stays really true to the era in terms of it doesn't dodge any of the racial stereotyping and that sort of thing of the era. There's a lot of like racial slurs in this game because there was a lot of...
That's what it was.
That's what it was. Even down to the music, some of the musical choices are sort of vaguely racist, specifically against like Asian culture. And they don't really sort of pull any punches there, which is kind of, makes you realise that the world you're in is quite a nasty one. On top of which, you're obviously playing a fucking mafia hitman, dude.
Yeah.
So you're an arsehole.
There is
like,
that.
You're a fucking, but you're the bad guy. And that's kind of cool as well. And I know that they dabble with that in GTA and other games, but it's done very, very well here. There's no doubt that you are a bit of a piece of work. And they're not even scared to make a lot of the characters you're interacting with much nicer than you. Like, the direct comparisons all around of people who, unlike you, are reasonable and decent. So, yeah, it's a very good game. Obviously, we're powering through it because I can only play it until the service. And I'm right near the end, so yeah, I'm sure we'll finish it tomorrow. But
nice.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoying it, and 99% of the time, no issues streaming this at all. It's been absolutely fine. Cool. I just think it should load quicker if it's on a fucking cloud supercomputer.
Yeah, it's a bit
as a
silly.
general rule. So there you go, buddy. There's my PS Now experience
rundown. Yeah, that's nice, buddy. So the end of kind of experience, I guess. So which one is it, I guess, is the question.
There's no denying that I've had far greater enjoyment out of Game Pass because I think that they make more interesting choices in terms of what they're adding to the service. I think that the two services, it sort of feels as though Game Pass is being properly curated by people who give a shit about what's on there, and PS Now it reminds me far more of that Steam style.
Anything.
Sift
just get it on
through
there.
this fucking dog shit in the hope of finding a gem. And they probably have done that because they can, because it's easy, and because they can then brag about the sort of volume of software that they've got on their service. There's not much in it, I would say. I think Game Pass has been consistently better than PS Now in terms of its titles, but I also think that if you're going into the next console cycle, those PlayStation exclusives probably outweigh it. The other side of the coin is the wheel support is a big deal for us, obviously, but not for most. Yeah. But the fact that Sony is not going to launch new first-party titles on PS Now.
You don't know when that shit's going to come to it.
Yeah, versus Microsoft saying, we're making this game and you will have it if you're a Game Pass subscriber.
Yeah.
Which is how it should be. And that is probably the biggest differential between the two.
Yeah, I would say so.
They're both good services. If you're new to either console, they're both well worth your money immediately.
Yeah, just having a punt at it and seeing what happens. Yeah.
If we'd gone Xbox One rather than PS4, at that point, I would still have never owned a PlayStation up until this point in my life. If I then bought a PS4 now, PS Now would be an absolute treasure trove of PS2, 3, and 4 games for me to get stuck into.
Yeah.
So, I think Sony have done a really good job of bringing it up to Game Pass standards. But I think overall, the exclusives thing kills it for me and switches it to Game Pass. But I have to say, much closer than I was expecting it to be. Just from my own personal feelings, it felt like PS Now, I think we've kind of ritually mocked PS Now for a long time, although mostly before they changed the service up and made it more, value for money and quantity. But it's Game Pass for me, I have to say.
I think my kind of take on it now is I can't really see myself getting PlayStation Now. I know you say like there's a plethora of fucking games on there that, and you said that you've never owned a PlayStation system, so you've got all of these old games that you've pretty much never kind of played or did play, the ones that you haven't played because they were only on PlayStation or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas me, someone that's had everything because I have to be that guy. I've played like Killzone 1. I've played, I played Mafia 2. All these games. Like the only one that I hadn't played was Disney's Brave, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a case of me wanting to go back and playing these like PS2, PS3 games because I don't know. I don't want to. Like, what about like new games? Like, what's the deal? I know Spider-Man's on there. Like, what other new games are on there?
Or Uncharted,
relatively
Control,
recent, like this generation.
Yeah, Control, Just Cause 4's on there. Some of the old Far Cry games are on there. They did have a PS Now on their front banner. This is the problem I've had is the games that they're pushing as like, look what we've got, games that we've bought, man.
Yeah, I know.
Played, and that I can't.
But how many is there? Like, are they any good? Are there like little silly ones that those ones that you find on Game Pass where you're like, oh, I'll play that for like 5 hours or whatever?
And that's another big difference is you can see. Considering the fact that when these consoles launched, Sony was making a massive deal of the indie devs, and there's way better indie games on Game Pass than on PS Now.
And I think for me, that's why I would go for Game Pass over this, because it's not so much latest and greatest stuff, but it's relative content that I probably haven't bought.
I mean, I've got my two lists here. Let me just very quickly skim my PS Now list. I won't say everything, but just to give you a flavour of what you can get here. So we've got Abzu, Aragami, Assetto Corsa, all the Batman games, the Arkham games, Battlefield 4, the Bioshock games, all of them, Broken Age, all the Borderlands games, not 3, sorry, 1 and 2, Braid, Brink, City Skylines, Control, Counter-Spy, all the Dead Island games, Dirt 4 and Dirt Rally, Doom, Dishonored, all the F1 games, all the Fallout games, all the God of War games, all the Grid games, and then you've got stuff like Infamous, Heavy Rain, Injustice, Journey, Killzone, all of those, all the Lost Planets, Mafia 2 and 3, all the Metal Gear games, all the Metro games, a mixture of 2K sports games like NBA 2K18, Need for Speed Rivals, Overcooked 1 and 2, Payday 2, Pillars of Eternity, all the Red Faction games, like all of them, all the Ratchet and Clank games, all the Resistance games, Rocket League, Saints Row, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Spider-Man, Steep, Force Unleashed 1 and 2, Tearaway, Last of Us, Oblivion and Skyrim, The Darkness 1 and 2, Evil Within, The Golf Club, The Surge, Until Dawn, all Uncharted games, all the Wolfenstein games, selection of like rally games, XCOM 2, and all the Yakuza games.
So that's actually pretty fucking decent.
Yeah. Okay, like, so that's my PS Now list.
That's really actually very impressive.
Yes.
A lot of those games I was like, yeah, I'd play that, or I have played that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So, yeah, okay.
And then my Game Pass list is shorter, but of a higher quality, in my opinion. So yeah, it's... there's plenty there. As I say, there's fuck all in it. I'm not just paying lip service. I'm not just playing devil's advocate. No. There's nothing in it between the two. It comes down to those exclusives, but obviously if you're going PlayStation, then you're not going to get those exclusives when they come out, whereas with Xbox you will. Whether those are something you actually even want to fucking play, that's the question, you know? Which new first-party Xbox games are coming out next generation that you want? Because it's all very well. Gears 5 launched. I've got Gears 5. It's shit. New Halo is shit. I don't like Ori. I don't like either of them. So, you know, they're launching these new games on the service that I subscribe to.
What about Minecraft Dungeons, buddy?
I like the look of that.
I'll play that with you.
I will do that with you, yeah. I do like the look of that. Why not?
Yeah,
it looks like
fucking Minecraft Diablo.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. All in all...
I've just come up with a fucking great idea that these guys need to do, right? They need to buck up their ideas, right? Say I buy a game when it comes out on the Microsoft or Sony store, 50 quid. 60 quid, whatever it is. Happy days. I got my game. I'm playing the shit out of it. A year later, it gets added to PS Now or Game Pass Ultimate or whatever. They should be like, do you want to sell that game and get a few extra months of PS Now or Game Pass?
Or a £10 voucher or something like that.
Oh, no, yeah, it has to go back into the service. Service. I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not?
And that's like only when it goes onto that service. Like, you know, it's just a case of like, I know you own this game, but that game's now on our service. So do you want to get rid of actually owning it and just, you know, keep getting our service? Like, keep them hooks in. I think that would be a good idea. I'd do that.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Because then at least you know when you buy a game, like, you're still going to get something back if it gets added to one of these, you know, whatever. Like, the amount of games that we've bought and they've turned up on, like, PlayStation Plus, and it's like, oh, well, that's another game that, you know, we bought it at the time because we wanted to play it. But we could have waited. But then again, we don't know if it is going to get added. But if they came out and said that, then it'd be like, holy shit, yeah, cool. One, I think that would make me feel comfortable about buying games, you know, knowing the fact that if they do go on there, I'll get some compensation for it. And, all in all, I'd be a happy customer and I'd continue to use that service more and more.
Absolutely. I mean, there's every chance that I might have bought some first-party exclusive titles if Game Pass, you know, if Microsoft had any that weren't coming out on Game Pass, there is no incentive for me to buy any software on the Xbox.
No, not
the only games that I have bought are old games, backwards compatible games, because I feel that the current AAA industry is so pathetic and geared away from anything that I want.
It's not good.
I'm no longer finding enough new games to play, and I'm having to look behind me and look at when they weren't just fucking loot box collectathons. So
yeah, I know what you're saying.
But yeah, on PlayStation, if you had PS Now, you'd still have to buy, Last of Us 2 when it comes out. If they launched PS Now as a new service on the PS5 and said, look, we're going to do this now. So Horizon 2, what if they're doing a new Killzone, whatever, whatever like Naughty Dog does next, all that sort of thing. The new Ratchet and Clank game that's rumored to be a launch title on PS5. If these things were on PS Now, then there's nothing between those two services at all.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal. It's a big deal, the difference. And in fact, I would say that Sony would take it with that move, because I just think they're making better video games in-house than Microsoft have been able to. And that may change in this cycle, especially with the added power it looks like the Xbox is going to have. But, at the moment, that's the big deal breaker between the two.
Yeah, man.
And that's PS Now.
Unless you just own a PC and then you can have both of them. Happy days.
Yeah. None of the first-party exclusives on PlayStation, but, they're run
Can you
on
not stream
the
them
Xbox
then?
One.
They're all just downloadable.
Well, PS Now, that is true. You can use PS Now on a PC. It keeps telling me to fucking do that every time I fire it up on my console. I don't know why.
Do it on your PC, you can.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that because you can't install them. You have to stream them all. And I've proven with a 65, 70 meg connection that isn't good enough.
It's not a good idea.
So, I looked at the sort of statistics in the UK, and it's about 45 is the average speed across the whole of the UK, but obviously that includes islands and highlands and fucking Snowdonia. I should have enough beans. And if I don't, then not enough people do for it to be a viable service, I would say.
Well, we've always said that, even for the past few years.
Yeah, and it'll get quicker and things will get better. I have to say, though, it's pretty impressive. You hear rumours of how badly Stadia performs in certain scenarios, and I have to say, PS Now... Yeah, I'm getting these occasional hitches and glitches, but for the most part, it's pretty rock solid. And I'm certainly not getting any latency in the controls, and that's the thing we were always most worried about. Something for an open world game, any single player stuff that doesn't involve real Twitch controls, you'd be absolutely fine streaming it. And it is lovely to have a library of games that you can just fire up instantly and not install them, not download them. Nice. It's just nice.
Yeah.
So that's PS Now. Very briefly, I've played some Assetto Corsa just through testing because of what I was talking about before. I have to say, the way that the cars drive on that game is exceptionally good. The game itself is rubbish, like on the PlayStation. I'm sure it's
not
excellent
much better on the PC.
PC.
It's like I played it. God knows how many years ago when I had it. It's probably a lot better now.
Yeah, well, there's a huge mod scene, and it'll run properly these days. It doesn't run well on the PlayStation. If you have like 4 cars on the screen, it starts falling over. It's not ideal. But if you get in like a Lotus Elise and take it around Brands Hatch in, like dash cam, it really feels so good. Like, it feels real. If it's more simmy than anything else on the system. And this game's on sale for like a tenner at the moment. If you have a steering wheel and just enjoy playing like racing games for the fuck of it, rather than having any sort of illusions of this has got to go somewhere or have a viable career mode or anything, then I really do recommend it, because I spent a good 45 minutes to an hour just driving around on my own, just being like, this feels so cool, like really good. And obviously, Assetto Corsa Competizione is coming out in about 3 months' time on the consoles. They've promised that this isn't going to be some lazy port like the last time round. And that's going to be a day one for me, 100%.
Nice.
Cool. And then the only other thing that I've played is Journey to the Savage Planet. And I'd like to start talking about it by reading out what Cosmic Dad said about it in our Discord. this week because I concur to some degree at least. He says, Journey to the Savage Planet is not very good. At the core, it's a first-person Metroidvania, but the shooting's crap, the jumping's crap, the upgrades are mostly crap. There is no map. There's lots of bad humour and a very occasional funny line. The closest thing I can compare it to is Supraland, but where Supraland was a lot of fun, Journey to the Savage Planet is a lot of frustration. I've played 3 hours and I'm done with it. There you go. That's what Cosmic Dad thinks of it.
It's a solid statement.
Yeah. So I agree with most of that. I found the humour to be satisfactory. Like, I think that most of the jokes landed for me. I wouldn't say most of them missed for me. That doesn't make up for the fact that there's nothing here. This game really does feel quite a lot like a tech demo to me, in that they've just sort of generated a world and they're like, go on. It's like, why?
Do it.
That's my question. Like, why? There's a lot of really annoying shit here. For example, you can go off-piste in your exploration and they haven't bug tested it enough to stop you from getting up onto ledges that you shouldn't. But there's a sort of quite obvious upgrade tree here, involving things like getting the opportunity to like jump higher with a jetpack, and then you can get like a zip line sort of harpoon sort of tool thing. Every time you get anything, it's like, now come back to the ship. Okay, now go back out again. I don't know, man. It's there's just not really much here. It's like a sort of survival game without any of the survival stuff. It's just an upgrade tree with like a polygonal game world surrounding it. It looks pretty. Totally. The fucking, not only is the shooting crap, but it seems like all the enemies have been designed to make it more annoying. Like, every single enemy has got like fucking annoying attacks that come out of nowhere. They're really hard to hit. They all dart about in a way that's frustrating. And I've played this game for, I think, more than the 3 hours Cosmic Dad has. I've still only got a fucking pistol that I've just upgraded like once to have a bit more ammo. It's an annoying weapon, and there's so much shooting. There should be more guns by this point. It feels quite polished, this thing. But really, there's just nothing there game-wise. It's just like, go and collect this. Now go in this cave. You have to go and get this crystal from the back of it. To do so, you'll have to jump across this lava. It feels kind
of like Roblox.
Yeah, a bit Minecrafty, bit Robloxy, in the guise of something more. I think that the graphics and the art direction kind of levitate this thing a little bit higher and disguise what it is on the surface. But you don't have to play it
when
for
you
very
break
long.
It down, it's simple as
exactly.
Fuck. Yeah.
Don't have to play it for very long to realise that there's not really anything there. If you like the humour and pottering about on your own in a video game, then you may well get some joy out of this. But it's certainly not compelling enough for me. And as Cosmic Dad says, if you've not got any content except like fetch questy stuff, then at least the mechanics have to be like really good.
It's got to be
it has
an
to
enjoyable
feel good, and
experience.
It doesn't.
Yeah. If it doesn't play well and it's lacking in content, I guess you would say, then you're fucked, mate.
Yeah, that gameplay loop has to be really fucking compelling with that lack of content, and that just isn't there on this occasion. So bit of a shame, but there we are.
Oh well.
So that's what I've been playing, buddy. All of those fucking games. Yeah,
that's a lot of games.
Sorry to have kept you.
No, it was. I think the fact that we had a bit of a comparison between PS Now and Xbox Game Pass is, it's some sort of topic for us to talk about, because there's not a lot to talk about at the moment in gaming, buddy. Because
true.
We're not buying the latest games that are coming out because we're skint as fuck.
And their dog shit.
And their dog shit, that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny times, I would say, when everyone in the world is pushing gaming and not a lot is happening in present gaming. I mean, you look back over this generation and you think, yeah, shit, actually, a lot has happened. There's been some fucking phenomenal games that have come out. But in this moment, it's not a lot. It's a lot of waiting and pondering, I would say. So yeah, it's nice to have a little comparison like that.
Absolutely, and a lot of people, obviously Sony fucked it completely with the launch of that service. So it's nice to get a sort of hot take of it at this point. And
I still don't trust them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Ultimately, it's really ripe for fanboyism, this, because the services are so close together, and people can say that the streaming thing's like a huge benefit. I would argue the opposite is true at this point, at least, but in the future it will be. But yeah, you're always going to get those sort of fanboy fights all the time. These consoles are it's probably going to be less prevalent if there's not a physical device. If you're just using a service, then it's like having some argument over what's better out of Amazon and Prime and Netflix. It's like, well,
it's illegal. Stream it, mate.
Surely no one is like fucking Netflix is the bet Amazon's shit. Surely,
you know what? I bet there are.
There probably are.
But we're not part of that world. We're not part of the streaming media world. Maybe there is a massive grudge between Prime and Netflix or something, or whatever, Disney Plus and shit. Now it's fucking Team Disney Plus.
Incidentally, I've been watching Disney
Star
Plus.
Wars.
Been watching Disney Plus's content through in order.
Yeah,
in chronological order.
Yeah,
which is a vast undertaking, but. Yeah. Oddly enough, we've got a fair bit of time on our hands at the moment, buddy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
In the evenings. We tend to be staying in. So, yeah.
Have you hit Cinderella yet?
We've gone... No, we haven't. We've gone through the 30s and the 40s. So we've done all of that. And the first movie was Snow White, so we've watched that. And now we're into I guess it's the 50s and the 60s. And we just got to the 1940-something or 50-something, the Swiss Family Robinson.
Nice.
Which is a story that I've always quite liked. But this is a terrible, terrible film. By any standards. I feel like it must have been awful at the time. This film, the acting in this movie is absolute dog shit. It's so bad.
That will happen, though.
This is their first live action production. It's fucking dreadful.
When was all Bedknobs and Broomsticks and fucking Choo Choo Bang Bang? That's got to be
60s, 70s.
70s, yeah.
Yeah. The next movie is Pinocchio next, followed by Fantasia.
That's all right. So, I love a bit of Fantasia.
But we've watched all of the shorts, like Donald Duck Goes to the Beach and, Mickey in his camper van and all these sort of 10-minute shorts and that. It's quite fun to just watch them all and see the progression in the animation, in real time.
It's
quite cool. But yeah, anyway. That's that. I haven't really got much else other than a little bit of news, buddy. Have you got anything else? Any sort of burning topics you want to talk about?
And I picked up those free games on the Epic Store. I can't remember who put them in the Discord, but thank you for pointing them out. I picked up, what's it, Close to the Sun? I think I haven't heard anything about this game, so I've picked that up, and it looks like it's I don't know. Immediately, I look at it and I'm like, okay, BioShock. So what era is that? 50s, 60s, or something? I don't know. Or is it earlier than that? 20s? 30s? I don't know. Eras.
I'd say
shit.
30s.
I've literally loaded up the game right now and it's so loud. Oh my God. I just wanted to go to the store page. Oh no, it's all gone fucking wrong. Holy shit. Well, it runs on my computer, which is good. That's helpful. So It's obviously some kind of fucking horror game, which is a bad choice for me because I'm not a fan. But it looks like a kind of puzzle horror game, and I'm like, I like puzzles, and it doesn't look like there's any kind of like action or shit in there. So yeah, I've picked that up, and I was gonna stream it last night, but I started watching Ozark. I've never seen it before, and fuck me, that's cool.
It's a cool show.
Yeah. So I ended up watching like 3 episodes of that instead. But yeah, my plan is to give this a burn and stream myself getting, I guess, shit scared. I don't know. It looks messed up, but
there are chase sequences that require the players to press button prompts to jump over obstacles.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. But I saw like they were opening a safe and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, I love puzzles.
Yeah, I bet give it a go, buddy. You never know.
Yeah, we'll see what that is. I guess that's it, really. There's not really anything for me to say. But yeah, I'm going to give that a burn. See what it's like.
Gibbon. Absolutely. Yeah. Why not, eh? And worth noting that the Discord's pretty active. Obviously, everyone's at home as well. Oh, God,
yeah.
And
there's loads of free games in there.
Shit ton of free games.
Fucking loads of free games. Because JJ put in a load. I think I mentioned that Cosmic Dad put a load of the COVID-19 Humble Bundle in there.
Yeah.
And then JJ's popped in there with another load of stuff. I'm tempted to go for Planet Coaster, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a good shout. Some quality stuff. Plenty of codes from Gigaram as well, always sniffing out the deals and the freebies. So
so if you want some free games, buddies, head over to our Discord. You can find it in our Twitch channel or where else? I can't remember. On our website.
JfG Podcast.co.uk. There's a Discord link there. These glorious people, they don't want anything from you here. They're just sharing free Steam codes and shit. If you want one,
man.
Come and have a little snoop.
You want Magicka? It's there. World of Goo? It's there.
It's waiting for you. So
just get involved.
Thanks so much for that, buddies, for being
Super
so active.
Hot, Killing Floor 2, Sniper Elite 3.
They're just sitting there ready to be claimed right this moment, and all you have to do is claim them and then say that you've used it to save someone else the aggro of also trying to use it. That's literally all is asked of you.
And just say, I've got that. Yeah, Cosmic Dad picked up F1 2019, so I'm sure he's enjoying a bit of that right now.
Absolutely, and speaking of, we had an announcement actually today about the new F1 game, because we've been waiting for some time. We knew it was going to be coming sort of June, July, or we wondered if maybe the whole virus thing would change the plans there for Cody's. Looks like the answer's no. They don't want more time to work on establishing some sort of steady, stable netcode for this release. They'd rather do what they've been doing for the last 6 or 7 years and release something that is brilliant and half-baked in equal measor. So here we are. F1 2020 releasing on July the 10th, and described on Eurogamer as boasting a suite of new features. I'm not sure I'd fucking go that far, mate. But
a suite is in one.
Yeah, well, so the headline is, my team allows you to create your own outfit and compete against the 10 existing teams on the F1 grid. That's quite cool. I like the idea of doing that.
That's kind of fun.
That's cool.
Can we do that co-op?
I think that you can. I think you can, yeah, because you can... well, actually, I wouldn't like to guess.
No.
I wouldn't like to...
You would think you'd be able to.
Yeah, you would think that you would be able to take that team online and
I would
race
totally
through.
Up for that. That would be awesome.
It's got co-op seasons on there, so you've always been able to do that with existing teams. True. But I don't know. I think the reason that this is considered a big new feature is because of the stagnation and complete lack of new features for the last 5 years. Yeah. It's probably worth mentioning. But anyway, that's really cool. 10 existing teams on the grid that you can fight against. There's some new management features to the series. The other thing that they're talking about is the deluxe edition, which is just so fucking typical Eurogamer right now. Sorry, let me just stop. You're supposed to be like journalists reporting on shit. You've got nothing to say. So you're saying that there's a suite of new features. You mention one, which is that you can create your own team. And
That's
now you're
suite.
banging on about the Michael Schumacher Deluxe Edition, with owners getting access to the 7-time world champions F1 2000, in which he took his first title for Ferrari, as well as Benetton's that took him to top honours in 94-95. More exciting is the inclusion of the Jordan 191, in which Schumacher made his debut at Spa, a car that's quite possibly the most beautiful to ever grace an F1 grid. Yeah, that's not fucking
That sounds
reporting.
like a copy and paste job, that does.
Yeah, I mean, fuck me, honestly. And then no mention of any other... Where's the suite of features? Where are the other features?
Where are the tasty treats?
Fuck all. They're basically saying that, yeah, Zandvoort's in there in Hanoi. This is the Dutch Grand Prix and the Vietnamese Grand Prix. These are new tracks, and
it's going to be interesting.
They won't be raced.
What are they replacing? Because I don't know.
Hockenheim's gone.
Oh, shit.
I think... Is that it? I think that's it. Because we'd already lost Malaysia or Singapore.
Yeah.
Singapore.
Not too fussed about Singapore.
Yeah, I raced around it on 2014, and it's all right. Is it Malaysia or Singapore? I get the two confused. It's the Sepang Malaysia.
Sepang.
Yeah, Sepang Raceway. The one with the big sort of umbrella hairpin.
Yeah.
That's fine. But anyway, yeah, so split screen is the only other thing that's mentioned. It's going to have local split screen.
With dual wheel support.
No one gives a fuck about that. But that's nice.
No cunt.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No.
I don't
You're
think
absolutely right.
It's launching on all normal platforms. It's also coming to Google Stadia as well.
Cool.
Weirdly,
Google Stadia,
again,
lacking
I'm just
wheel support.
raping this article, but F1 2020 is due out in July for Xbox One, PC, PS4, and for the first time, Google Stadia. What do you mean? For the first, it's a new game. It's not out on anything. What do you mean? I get what he means.
It's out on the first time on everything.
Holy
surely
shit. Everyone's working from home, and they're
never
all
been
phoning.
released before.
They're phoning it in right now. I have to say. I don't consider a deluxe edition with 6 cars that you don't get unless you buy the £70 version.
Yeah, pay more money.
Of new fucking features. Nor do I think that should be considered like a fucking positive in an article on what's supposed to be a gaming news website.
Yeah,
that's how
it should
I feel
be
about
like.
it.
Oh, unfortunately, you have to spend more money to get these cars, which I think is a bag of shite.
Fucking right. Thank you very much.
Why should I have to
what's
pay more
happened
money?
to everyone? Come on.
I don't know. They think this is, good business. Well, it is good business, really, because they make more money. But
yeah,
as a consumer of said product for the past God so many years, that's shit.
Codemasters has programmed
money for this?
6 classic cars for the new game, but unfortunately they've gated them behind a £75 paywall.
Cool.
That should be the article, but it isn't.
I mean, I
exciting.
use a cheat code to get these? Can I complete the career and get one of them? Like games used to be, just saying, unlocks.
Absolutely right. So this has become a little bit ranty, and let's continue that, shall we?
Oh, please.
Because,
I love a good rant.
Reasons to be cheerful. I'm not so sure, to be honest.
I mean, I've got one right here. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, buddy. The major news story for the week, which isn't hard, is the
situation.
UK games will now have a message on them saying includes paid random items, if they've got loot boxes and that sort of thing in there. The ESRB is doing the same thing in the US. So yeah, finally they're adding a message to games saying, oh, there's loot boxes in here, basically. It would appear that they've decided to wait until loot box popularity had dwindled before actually doing anything that might negatively affect games publishers.
What?
How come the governing authority is designed to protect us from the publishers seem to only protect the publishers themselves? They're so scared to tread on their toes. It's just is fucking madness to me.
So,
like,
the wife introduced my middle child, my daughter Rosalie. She's 6. She's got a tablet. Oh, they've all got fucking tablets. Of course they do. It's like 2020. Fucking weird if they don't. She plays some fucking cooking game where you just a thing and you can build your restaurant and stuff. And I'm like, she's got her own tablet. Gemma's playing on her phone and stuff. I'm there like, and then it's like, oh yeah, you can spin the wheel now because you've got some coins to spend on it. I'm like, are you taking the piss? She's like, what? Yeah, no, like, it's fun. I'm like, that's gambling, right? She's like, yeah, but, I'm like, yeah, but, like, if that excites her in a way, that can take form into, like, gambling addiction.
Yeah, it's normalising gambling for
and I'm
a
like,
young age.
Do you not see that? And she's like, oh, I never really thought of it that way. I'm like, well,
and that's what they're banking on.
Exactly, mate. And I'm just like, oh my God. And that's just an app on the fucking App Store. I doubt that'll have any kind of bollocks like this. But I don't know. Yeah, well, like you said, this is too little, too late, really. At the end of the day.
I mean, Jim Sterling jumped in with a video about this week. He mentioned a direct quote from the ESRB saying that the reason that they hadn't taken any sort of action beforehand was because parents don't know what loot boxes are.
Of course they don't.
And that was used as a reason to justify not trying to inform them about it. It's like, we were not going to tell them because they wouldn't understand.
Crack cocaine, so it's all right.
What are you fucking for? What are you for?
You're
the
there
whole industry
to stop this, to inform people about these things.
The real question I have is, basically in doing this, the ESRB and Peggy are admitting that there are random items, paid for random items. They're not calling it gambling because they're fucking pussies, but they are saying that this is in there. So why is it that Peggy and the ESRB are comfortable admitting that there are paid random items in a game, and then are also comfortable giving that said game, an age 3+ or a suitable for everyone? Why is it okay that there's a fucking spin the wheel loot box paid random items system in FIFA, but that game is suitable for 3-year-olds? Why?
I mean, obviously, we know why that's absolute bollocks.
It's ridiculous.
Because we know what these things are. We know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get every last ounce of pennies or whatever out of kids saying, like, hey, Dad, can I have my money, or what? Can I have so much money or whatever? I want to get this. And it's like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, fine. But yeah, they don't understand the underlying issues that are behind this, aka the gambling and bollocks.
I just don't understand it. Like,
what is
how can you suspend your disbelief this far? Like, it looks from the outside, it looks like the ratings boards are just bent.
But playing devil's advocate, as we always do on this podcast, like, it goes back to the thing, and the thing that they always go to is like, well, it's the same as like your fucking match attack cards or your Pokemon cards or whatever cards, and like kids buy them. That's a fucking real life loot box kind of thing, isn't it? And,
yeah, it is,
and that's what they're hiding behind. It's all to do with that kind of bollocks. At the end of the day,
I think the issue is that using that as the basis for the argument is misguided, in that is also an issue.
Yeah, no, it totally is.
To say it's okay because of football stickers, football stickers shouldn't have been allowed.
No. Kids
were smoking at 16. Like, I used to be able to get into pubs when I was 14.
Those are the days, buddy.
That's not a reason to suggest 14-year-olds should get pissed all the time.
Yeah.
It's a reason to suggest we've made progress as a society since then. And this is an example where that hasn't happened. Like,
a big difference is I don't know now, but obviously with physical cards, you own it, you can trade it. you can sell it. With these, electronic goods, there isn't. I can't remember. There used to be a trade system on FIFA. Is there anymore? I don't know. Like, I remember there was massive counterfeiting and not counterfeiting, but money laundering and shit going through there. And then with the stolen accounts and things that was happening through that. I mean, it's not very well policed. If there is a thing like that, but it's not like you can go to your mate. Oh, I'll give you 2 Messis for like a Ronaldo or whatever. You can't do that. Whereas with the physical cards, you totally can do that.
It's true.
For me, that's something that differentiates these loot boxes to actual physical cards or whatever.
I can see where you're coming from to a degree. I just think that whether you got nostalgia for football stickers or not, I very much enjoyed trying to collect all of the 1995-96 season in my little Premier League annual.
Like you do.
I shouldn't have been allowed. They shouldn't have been on sale.
No, totally. They shouldn't have been.
It's essentially gambling for kids and peer pressure for parents.
Yeah.
And this is no different to that. And the ratings boards, I just can't. It's so
exactly
difficult
like
to
you
understand.
Say, people we need to wise up to this, it's been going on for a long time, and it's not a good thing.
It's like a Wild West, man. And this is the thing with the games industry: is the revenue that it's bringing in.
Wrong, then.
The sort of money, the sort of revenue that the games industry brings in is right up there with movies and music and so on.
Even more so at this time.
Yeah, but it still feels as though they are. No one really knows what they're doing, and they can get away with murder. Yeah, I don't understand. It's just not. It's not policed or governed, despite being a major industry. And I can only assume it's middle-aged people putting their fingers in their ears, going, "Oh, video games, they're for children," or "Oh, you're a geek." I don't know what else there is.
I don't know. That's it, isn't it? It's mental.
It's so weird.
But yeah, anyway. The only thing that we can do, hopefully these things will keep getting pushed further and further, by people finding out more, things fucking change, buddy. Look where we were, I don't know, as a world, 100 years ago, the situation, well, not even that, 50 years ago with, race and stuff. And where we are now. Yeah. I'm not comparing this to, No,
you're just saying that there is natural progress and there will be here
things
as well.
Fucking change.
And the games industry is still very, very young.
Yes.
In comparison to a lot of
very,
other things.
Extremely young. And it's finding its boots. And obviously, people are going to fucking exploit every fucking nook and cranny they can out of this thing.
Yeah.
Until it gets shut down. Yeah,
absolutely. In the same way that, organizations... subscription services and, there's a lot of exploitation going on worldwide. It is what it is, but, it just...
It's just fucking bollocks that
me.
The people that are meant to be protecting people are doing a shit job of it.
They are doing a shit job of it. They're a fucking bunch of wankers.
Yeah.
And they know it as well.
Of course
they know that they're not doing enough. Maybe they can't. Maybe I don't know why.
We don't know, buddy. We're not insiders.
We're not insiders. We'll have to speak to Jason Schreier, see if he maybe knows what's going on.
I'll pop in him an email. Just be always
send him a message. But there you go. That's all the news you get.
That's a good bit of fucking ranting, buddy. It's a good 40 minutes of rant there.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It's nice to blow some steam. We're all done. That's it from me, buddy. I suppose we'll fuck off. I'm very busy.
I've got a lot of shit to do, mainly sleep, because I think I've been yawning for the past hour and a half of this podcast.
Yeah. And I need to be up bright and early to do another 9-hour shift in my bedroom, buddy.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's important.
I've got to leave the house and go to a place where there's 2,000 people. It's fucking awesome.
That's exactly what you want right now.
Yeah.
I would say.
Apparently, we're one of 2 prisons in England that hasn't got coronavirus.
Check you out.
Feeling pretty good about that right now. Beautiful. Bit of positivity. Feel like that's going to go tits up any day soon.
to see how you go.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to that day, but hey ho, I'll be there.
We got a similar thing going on with this town in that I don't think there's been any confirmed cases in the whole of the town, but you know, the night is young and the world is our mollusk.
It will happen.
So it certainly might. And until then, I'll continue to sit in my flat and do sporadic laps of the park once a day.
Don't fucking stop, though.
I won't stop.
Don't you dare stop.
That'd be illegal.
Yeah, it would.
Beautiful, buddy. Well, thanks so much for joining me this evening. It's been a pleasure as ever.
Thanks for everyone that's listened. Get in touch. We're about, you know.
Yeah.
If you're feeling lonely or not, we're there.
Yeah. Absolutely right. And yeah, get stuck in on Discord. Let us know if you've got any questions or if any of the discussions this evening have affected you personally.
Yeah.
And other than that, we'll catch you next time. I don't anticipate having a lot on next week, so I should be good for another episode, buddy.
Nice. I might be ill. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see how we go. Yeah, we're running the gauntlet. Thanks so much, buddies. We'll catch you next time. Until then, I've been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell. You've been listening to the JfG Podcast with Ash and me, Alex. You can find us at www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk, where you'll also find our Discord and Street Beat if you want to get involved with the show. Our Facebook is /the JfG Podcast, and our Twitter handle is @the JfG Podcast. We're on all those video streaming sites too, buddies, from TubeTube to twitch.tv /the JfG Podcast to mixer.com, aka beam.fucking-pro. We've got a PS4 community you can join. Just search the JfG Podcast on there. And we're also on Google Plus if that is how you choose to live your life. Thanks so much for listening, buddies. We'll catch you next time.